welcome to Young Kizzy, the one YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
He was not talking really like a man that was there, 26, 27 years ago. No. He was talking like he is actually there. And he was devouring information that is sensitive to our country and to our partners. That is my problem. That is my problem. But Xavier Chungu was devouring information that he shouldn't have dared to discuss. That is my problem. And look, I know that some of you may not appreciate this. So what I did, I got some excerpts from that interview so that muyumfuile, For example, I'm going to go there are a few points that I picked up. Number one, for example, he started by talking about his appointment, how he was appointed. He started discussing his podcast on how he was appointed. And when he was talking about how he was appointed, he basically said something that was quite implicating for a person that is a former Director General of Intelligence. You see, he is disclosing to say this is what happened in cabinet. Now, some of you may not realize cabinet discussions are classified. Cabinet discussions are classified. So even if you are not there and somebody comes and starts telling you, oh, this is what happened in cabinet, and you carelessly discuss it, you can be indicted for it. How do you know? Because cabinet deliberations are classified. So, when Xavier Chungu is as a former Director of Intelligence, when he's talking, he ought to know that he doesn't have to discuss what happened in cabinet. He may have had the privilege to know, or somebody may have told him to say, this is what happened in cabinet. But for him, as a former Director General of Intelligence, he ought to know better not to discuss whatever would have been discussed in cabinet. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. Cabinet information is classified. And I know some of you don't know this. And some of you casually discuss, hey, cabinet. You can only discuss what they bring out, because after cabinet, usually they give cabinet briefings. That is what you can discuss. But listen to Xavier Chungu. Here.
How do you manage to make that transition? I worked for the system.
Right.
I was a young officer and growing up in ranks. I didn't work for KK. So
Okay.
I was among the general corps, the general staff.
Mm.
Yes, I was not one of the top leadership. So the only government I've worked for, the Zambian government. It wasn't Dr. Chiluba who found me and picked me.
Listen.
Right, okay. I think when the team, the MMD team, the executive team, got into office, each and every one of them had a file or names to submit for the job of Director General. And amongst themselves, I think they all presented the names. And somewhat, I don't remember. I think it was each and every one of them had a file or names to submit for the job of Director General. And amongst themselves, I think they all presented the names. And somewhat, I don't remember, I think it was late BY and
Listen,
Mwanga
even discussing
who tried to
names,
submit my name.
not good.
And actually turned down the offer. I turned it down. Yes, and the reasons are not, I think, for this interview. But I turned down the offer. But in the cabinet, when it was reported that I turned down the offer, the late President Michael Chilufye Tayali, he actually threw his folders in front on the table and declared that he was for this name and he was going to pick this name. This name must take this job. And, you know, the attitude of our late president, he called me about 23:30. Yeah, I was
famous for that, yeah.
I was in Ndola and I was in charge of Ndola. And that moment, because we were all waiting for appointment, so we had time to relax. So that moment I was sleeping. And he said, you must come to Lusaka now.
Now?
Yes.
At 23 hours?
Yes.
In Ndola?
Yes. He said,
And he called you on a landline?
yes, and I said, come to Lusaka now. And I said, Honorable Minister, sir, I'm sleeping with...
I'll leave that. But you hear, he's discussing how he was picked. And he's discussing what was discussed in cabinet. Long time as it may be. Yes, we do acknowledge it's long time. My point is, you don't discuss what was discussed in cabinet. Cabinet information is classified, especially when you are talking about, you know, the how a Director General of Intelligence is picked. So he may have had, somebody may have told him, but it was not right for him to be discussing this on radio. No, it's not. Especially him. I may have, you know, the leeway to talk like that. As a politician, I can talk like that. You know, I'm not a public servant. When you are a public servant, you are a public servant forever. You are a public servant, even in your grave, you are a public servant. You are a civil servant. You civil servants, you ought to know this. You are a civil servant until, even in your grave, even in your grave, you are in the grave, kulianga twakumana mu grave ya dimulia. You must perform as a civil servant. Na mumanda niwe civil servant. If you had sworn an oath, that oath goes with you, na kumanda. You still have to continue with it until it is lifted. So somebody like me who has never been in government can have a little bit of leeway to talk carelessly, but not a person like Xavier Chungu. So this was wrong. And what is actually worse about this is that, you know, here Xavier Chungu clearly brings out Basata. And you know, this is how unfortunate it is, because now we are even talking about Basataba Fokale, you know, because of Xavier Chungu, we have to bring up these issues. For you to, I'm doing this for you to, you know, to get the gravity of, the gravity of the carelessness of Xavier Chungu. Later on, he discusses that Basata is the one that pushed for him. You know, he insisted that he should be the Director General. Okay, fine. Later on, Basata was accused of having stolen a vehicle here government. Basata was accused of having stolen a vehicle here government. And this, we are saying, after Basata came out of PF, After Basata came out of MMD. So Chilufye is gone. Mwanawasa comes in. And Basata had fallen out with Levi Mwanawasa. And so he ceased to be a minister. He was no longer working for government. But Basata retained a vehicle, a GX, for some time. He was just using that GX. And because he was not in government, and he had a government property, he was arrested. Basata was arrested and he stayed in prison for 40 days, which was always talking about it. He was incarcerated for having had kept a vehicle, a government vehicle, when he was no longer a government worker. This case went to court, and the Savior Chungu came and testified to say, no, the vehicle was given to him because he was a friend of the intelligence. He was a friend of the intelligence. And that is how Basata was released. The issue is, now, I mean, when I was listening to him, I'm thinking to say, is it why he gave Basata a vehicle? He gave Basata a vehicle because Basata rooted for his appointment. You see, was it quid pro quo? Basata did him a favor and he did Basata a favor. Was it like that? You see? You see? I hope you understand. He gave a testimony, and now, after his interview, me, who back then followed the issues, I was thinking to say, oh, maybe that's why he gave Basata a vehicle, a government vehicle. Basata is long gone. And I wish not to discuss more about that, but I hope you understand that some of these utterances can be very dangerous. There is another utterance which Ababa Mdala brought out, delicate again. This one.
You must sit with the president and let him know that he will get information from you, not from him. If he wants you to investigate something, he must give you the reasons.
He must give you reasons?
Yes. Because if reasons are personal, you must sit with the president and say, no, you are no longer the individual. You are the president for everybody. And so when you ask about an individual, the issues are very personal, and we cannot endeavor as an institution.
So the way instances you said no to certain requests, you as a personal?
Look, let me give you one example.
Listen.
I'm 6 months old in the office, and all I get every day is information from MMD cadres. Sir, there's this. The president wants this. Sir, there's this. I sat down and I asked the president. I sat down with the president. Says, I think my job is to run the intelligence, not to be run by MMD security. If the MMD security elements have got information, now is the system in government. Because all that information should never come to the president and should never come to me. Not even to me as DG. They come from formations in Lusaka or Chingola or Mazabuka. They are officers who are operating in those areas. That's where that information coming from, right from the chief of security of the party into the cadres. They should never report to the president. Now the president should tell them all information must be reported to there. Because by and large, the information from the security system of the party is to scandalize others, to destroy others, to fight others. It's not realistic. So to stop that, I told the president one day, is it possible you can tell Honorable Katie Walbita and his team to be reporting to the...
You hear that? You hear what he's saying is true. I agree with him. That cadres, we are going to the president to report this, and then I'm sure the president would talk to him to say, no, the cadres are reporting this and whatever. And he's saying, no, these people should be reporting to the structures of the intelligence, not coming to you. which point is all right. The problem that I have, he brings in a name. I told the president that, is it possible you can tell Kelly Waluvita? You see? Now, again, if you go back, whatever this man was talking with the president was classified. Whatever he was talking was classified. The job of an director of intelligence interacting with the president is not something that you come and discuss on the podcast. No. You don't come out as a director of intelligence and start devouring the information on what you discussed with the president. That was careless. That was careless. And more importantly, he brings in a name. I told the president, is it possible you can tell Kelly Waluvita? Now, here we are. How will Kelly Waluvita defend himself? Those of you who are saying, no, hey, this is not, hey, it is whatever, which aren't busy because by opposition, anyone who is saying anything against the government, I mean, is your friend. But what kind of leaders are you? You also want to go into government. And you must be responsible. You must show responsibility. So anyone who says something negative about the government, you are clapping. But surely, is it right for this man to be discussing the conversation that he had with the president and drawing in names? How will Kelly Waluvita defend himself? Because basically, this is an accusation on Kelly Waluvita. This is an accusation on Kelly Waluvita that Kelly Waluvita was running a parallel intelligence whereby they were talking to the president directly. They were giving the president intelligence information. I mean, surely, any reasonable person would agree that this is not right. How will Kelly Waluvita defend himself? How? So should Kelly Waluvita also go on a podcast and start discussing this? Where are we going? Where are we going? So this man was being careless. He was being careless, and he should not be allowed. And civil servants, they ought to learn that this is wrong. This is a crime on their part. This is being against the government. This is being against the government. If you go out and you start devouring information, of the government, that is espionage. I don't know if I'm correct. But this is wrong. This is wrong. If you don't see anything wrong, then you are a wrong person yourself. You are a wrong person yourself. Then this man went on to talk about the tunnels. The revealing of the tunnels. Listen to what he said. I want you to appreciate that this man being picked by the police, it is not political witch hunt. No, it is not. It is not. And surely, if you are a patriot, you should not support what Maseva Chungu is doing. Be it that he's in politics, he's the presidential candidate, but you cannot base on your campaign on the job that you are doing. Listen to what he says. Come on, this is wrong. This is on the tunnel.
In line with that as well, and you being the Director General of the Intelligence Services in Zambia, there was something that was secret in this country for so many years until one day we have an announcement on the TV, on the main news, sorry. Tunnels have been discovered under
TV.
Well, same thing.
Yeah.
Tunnels have been discovered under State House. Why were those things made public? Aren't those supposed to be safeguards for a president thinking?
Yeah, I'm sorry about it. It's a pity that these things, like I'm saying, us Zambians, we must begin to be patriotic. We must begin to be ourselves. We must begin to respect our country. We must begin to be together and consult amongst ourselves. There's not one country in this world that doesn't got security systems for its presidency. No. And I'm sorry that overzealousness was quite loud among the new ministers in the cabinet of the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy. Despite being the Director General of Intelligence, you don't just endeavor into state houses for the presidency. I've got my own offices as the Director General, but however, you take stock, and I did do take stock, and I think that institution was perfect. To tell you the least, it even survived or helped our liberation movement leaders so well.
The tunnels.
Yes. But leave it alone. It has to exist. It has to exist, and it has to exist. If not, it has to be improved, and it has to exist.
I think the public in that instant felt like it was a distraction to
hide first mistakes the MMD made in the first 6 months. So it was not there was nothing about.
So he comes out there, he's criticizing the government that he worked for. He is criticizing the government that he worked for. Again, for you civil servants, you ought to know this. If you are in government, you are a civil servant. Decisions are being made. You cannot, even no matter how long it takes. It is not for you to start to come back and start saying that was a mistake that the MMD made. This man was a director of intelligence. Whatever was done, he is bound by it. He is bound by those decisions. And he was not a politician then. Now he's a politician. Unfortunately, much as he is a politician, he will not go back and start discussing what happened when he was in government. No. You can't. You can't be part of what is happening in government. And when you leave government, you use whatever information that you had and start, using it for your political campaign. You can't. You can't do that. You can't do that. So it was wrong. It is not for Xavier Chungu to come out there and start, accusing people they were overzealous. Hey, this was the first mistake of MMD. He can't do that. He can't do that. Imagine if Chilufye was alive today. How would he feel that his own director of intelligence is devouring this kind of information? Why didn't he resign? If Xavier Chungu felt that what government did was wrong, and if at all he wanted to discuss it, maybe, but he cannot. He would have just resigned. But today, to come back and start talking like that, it is wrong. And I'm saying this for the benefit of also other civil servants. You need to know that when you are working in government, you cannot go on a public forum and start discussing government like the way Xavier Chungu is doing. It's wrong. Another issue, therefore, I picked up some of the issue. Another issue, which he talks about, and then he's bragging about how he was a spy in this country and whatever. You don't discuss that. I mean, you just don't do that. Hey, listen to this.
I get for now 6 months.
6 months? I
did
6 months.
I did 34 months. Every other 6 months I had to go. And eventually it looked like we had finished the matters and there was nothing anymore. And obviously everybody had said now it's enough is enough.
So he's talking about his arrests afterwards.
So the Monday I came out of prison, which was the fine time that I was told, no, I think things are all closed. I didn't believe that things were all closed. I didn't believe it. Because I hate again, they were beginning to create another case. For me, because they really wanted to make me break down. So that's why I decided, let me just leave the country.
So where did you go?
I went out of the country.
Yeah, we know that now.
You know how I travel. I went to Congo, and I took my flight from the Congo. I went to South Africa.
Okay.
And then from South Africa, my friends took me into Rwanda. I spent 2 weeks, and I was out of Rwanda because I think Rwanda, the institution was not very friendly.
Listen.
Not
Was
that.
Kagame president then?
Yes.
Listen.
The thing was.
Kagame was there? Yes.
And
Kagame is still
the late
president.
Dr. Levi Mwanawasa had some link with Kagame.
You hear
through
that?
A certain friend of his. And I think at that moment the relationship between President Kagame and Dr. Mwanawasa was quite warm. So I took off and I went to Kenya, where I stayed for almost 6 months.
Great.
Wasn't your passport taken at this point?
Listen.
They had taken the passport, of
Listen.
course, but I had another passport.
You
I'm
hear?
just coming out of
Intelligence.
You hear?
to be an intelligent.
How many passports did you have?
Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Well, yes, that's true. You know what? You have to be able to travel to any country anytime you want, but probably you avoid using the passport you used yesterday to go to here, so that at least there's some,
Balance there.
Yes, but cover up of.
Some passports don't have certain stamps
Absolutely.
that other passports do.
Yes.
I see.
Yes. So I.
What was that day like when you left? That's what I want to understand.
Thank God that I had a passport. It was a Friday, 1st May.
So, you see this guy. You see, I mean, honestly, this is why I'm disappointed with Chilufye Tayali. I thought he's more intelligent than this. How do you casually discuss, oh no, I left Zambia, I escaped Zambia, from here I crossed into Congo, I crossed into Congo, my friends picked me from Congo, and then from Congo I flew to South Africa. From South Africa I went to Rwanda, and in Rwanda I couldn't stay because in Rwanda Kagame had a good relationship with Mwanawasa, and then I went to Kenya, then I went to Seychelles. How were you moving? I had many passports. Imwe. You can go on a podcast, on a public forum. You start disclosing to say you had many passports. Panga sense if you think, is that okay? That this man possessed many passports. It doesn't matter according to our laws. And according to what we know as a public, we all ought to have one passport, not many passports. We all have to have one passport. So yes, his job would have necessitated such, because of course laws are made, but there can be some exceptions, whatever, when you are in the job. But it is preposterous of you, it is naive of you to come and discuss it, to come and disclose it in public. So when you hear that Bakapokola balese chakunganda, I mean, you shouldn't be surprised, because this man called for it. He called for it. Because even now, the intelligence, the security system, now they are wondering to say, hey, how many passports does he have now? They are wondering, what does he have? He himself called for this. He called for this. That is why the police are searching. That is why the police are questioning him. He himself was devouring information that is not supposed to. He was being too careless. So, my brothers and sisters, let's be real. Let's be real. Even when we are criticizing the government, we must be real. We must be real. And then there is another issue which is very, very dangerous. This one. Listen to this.
Commons community. I'm the one who presented them and recommended them first before presenting them. Yes.
Good Lord.
I've helped countries like the Congo today, to change their political leadership.
Listen.
Yeah.
Not that I was part of the coup, but
Have you heard that? Have you heard this man? I've helped other countries to change their leadership. And he says, not that I was part of the coup. Imwe. I mean, let's be serious, guys. Let's be serious. Let's be serious. I mean, is this man, what I'm saying, is a danger?
I'm part of the change of politics in Malawi.
Listen,
and
listen.
recommended them first before presenting them. Yes.
Good Lord.
I've helped countries like the Congo today, to change their political leadership.
Yeah.
Not that I was part of the coup, but I'm part of the change of politics in Malawi, from
Politics in Malawi.
the Banda into the new democratic leadership. I've done quite a lot in the region. For instance, the Lusaka protocols of Mozambique, I played a major role. There was a stalemate, and my counterpart called me to help resolve the matter, and the opposition, who were rejected for a long time, I sat with them for just about an hour, and they were calling for signing.
What do you think happened to the late former president of Malawi? Do you think that was just an accident?
Former president of
Sorry, vice president.
It's not an issue that I know much about, but I know that it was a fake accident. It was a bad accident.
Imwe.
It was a fake accident.
It was a bad accident. Let's put it this way. It's like
Imwe. Honestly, Mwevantu, did you hear this man? I helped other countries to change their leadership. And then he's asked a question. This is very important, Mwevantu. This is an active case in Malawi. Listen.
Do you think that was just an accident?
former president of
Sorry, vice president. What happened to the late former president of Malawi? Do you think that was just an accident?
Former president of
Sorry, vice president.
It's not an issue that I know much about, but I know that it was a fake accident. It was a bad accident.
It was a fake accident.
It was a bad accident. Let's put it this way. It's nothing fake. He died.
Yes, he did.
You see? This is an active matter. This is a former intelligence general. And he's asked, what do you think about what happened to the accident of former Vice President Silos Chilima in Malawi? What do you think? And the man goes, it was a fake accident. This is an active case in Malawi. It is an active case. Silos died like yesterday. Malawans are still grappling with this. And we have our former director of intelligence making a careless statement like that to say that was a fake accident. Anyway, honestly, guys, come on. Let's be real. Let's be genuine. Let's be genuine. This man is a danger to himself and to the country. No. This man, he said something else here.
Yeah, so it was a bad accident. Yes, I don't think they say we're going to rig. Maybe there'll be attempts. I don't
Listen,
know.
listen.
The man in the office can.
For office is a very expensive exercise.
Yes.
Who's funding you?
Not yet.
Not your what?
Not yet. I've not been funded by anybody. I just don't think this year we're going. You are the one with the machinery. Yes. I don't think this year we're going to rig. Maybe there'll be attempts. I don't know what they're doing. The man in the office can rig. Yes, if they want to, if they're determined, and people have tried, but they have failed. The only opposition which has tried to rig, and this I can say, is our friends in power today. Southern provinces are not election time. Basically, just control everything. So whatever's transcribed there, it has never been counter-checked by anyone. It's a weakness on the part of the government which was in office, and we understand the problem with the government that was in power before. But it's not this time anymore.
This one.
Have you heard of a company called Likuf?
The Israeli team.
I'm not going to comment on that one. I'm not going to comment on that one. I hope namu yumfuira mwevede. I hope namu yumfuira. Awe. Mamdana la chungu.
Community.
Yeah?
I'm the one who presents.
Listen.
Way involved in that.
Running for office is a very expensive exercise.
Yes.
Who's funding you?
Not yet.
Not your work.
Not yet. I've not been funded by anybody. I just don't think this year we're going.
You are the one with the machinery.
Yes. I don't think this year we're going to rig. Maybe there'll be attempts. I don't know what they're doing. The man in the office can rig. Yes, if they want to, if they're determined, and people have tried, but they have failed. The only opposition which has tried to rig, and this I can say, is our friends in power today. Southern provinces and Ogo area during election time. Basically, just control everything. So whatever's transpired there, it has never been counter-checked by anyone. It's a weakness on the part of the government which was in office, and we understand the problem with the government that was in power before. But it's not this time anymore.
You hear? Then there is another issue. Awe. I think, I'm sure you have gotten a feel of what I've been talking about. Then there is this one. Let me end on this one. Let me end on this. There are a number of...
When I was very young, but when I began to grow,
Listen.
I was already exposed. So I was no longer scared of anything, you know. And when you go into spying, has got definite.
He's bragging about spying.
When you're going out of the country, you have a specific task to perform. If you're going to stay as a diplomat or as an operative in that foreign country, maybe you have to begin to dramatize yourself so to become part of the society, community. But if you're going in for a day, those are the bad ones. You're going in for a day to meet somebody and come out. Those tend to be scary if you're not very careful.
Which brings me to my next question. When you go to a foreign country, genuinely for vacation, and they happen to know that the Director General for Intelligence for a different country is in here, do you have to tell them? Do they follow you around? What is that like?
Well, you've got bilateral relations with countries, huh? And if you're going to a friendly country, you have to notify them that you'd love to enjoy a holiday in their resorts in some good places. Normally they'll pay you courtesy, and sometimes they'll even bargain. So when you're going there for holiday, it must be for holiday. Yes, but if you're going into countries that have no bilateral relationship with you, that's when you use that passport I was telling you.
Yes,
So they don't know you, you're an innocent person, that's all.
But then that means the intelligence is terrible. If they don't know you.
No. There's always a flaw to everything, huh? And it's up to the way you behave. If I'm going to behave like a suspicious manner, they will try and follow me quickly.
Yeah.
Yes. But if I'm going in as a holiday and I'm free, they will check and say, it's not the one. The name, no, it's not the one. Leave him alone. If they suspect, they will stay around with me, and I'm just having my own wine. They'll come and join you. How are you sad? You like our country? You tell them how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
And then if they want to, pull them together and to enjoy a wine with them.
Which country do you feel has got the best intelligence in the world?
Listen.
Well, everybody says Israel.
Imagine.
They did not see October 7 coming.
No, complications are beyond us.
Although I have my own.
You know, wait a minute. You see, like that question, which country do you think has got, the best intelligence? This man, he is a former Director General of Intelligence. These are not things that he should be discussing. These are not things that he should be discussing on a podcast. But look, carelessly, carelessly, he's discussing. Listen to him.
They did not see October 7 coming.
No, complications have been
There's intelligence in
Listen.
the world.
If
they don't know you.
No. They suspect they will stay around with me and I'm just having my own wine. They'll come. You like our country, you tell them how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
And then if they want to, pull them together and to enjoy a wine with them.
Which country do you feel has got the best intelligence in the world?
Well, everybody says Israel.
They did not see October 7 coming.
No, complications are beyond that.
Although I have my own theories, about
I think-
October 7.
It could have been created in order to kill the multitudes.
Listen.
That's what my theory was.
The British are very good. The Germans,
British
the Europeans
are very good.
Of most of them, because they actually operate as a community. But I love the British.
I love the British.
I love the Germans.
I love the German.
They have brought me up.
So you think it's the British?
The Americans are a bit cowboyish.
Americans are a bit
Yeah.
cowboyish.
The Indians are perfect. Chinese, you don't even ask.
You don't even know what they're called.
Yeah.
The Japanese, you don't know what the Secret Service is called. You know what I mean?
Yes. So anyway, this is very difficult for one to say the best is that and so.
Well, according to you.
Yes, according to me. According to me, that's all I can tell you. But I know that everybody of us, we've spoken about the Israelis. The only reason why I always would talk about the Israelis is that not
That's the Mossad, right?
not yesterday, not these things which have happened yesterday. They don't go after nobody else other than the one who's committed crime. When it comes for instance, revenging, you know what I mean? And they've got information about almost everything that exists here on this planet. In our country, I know that they know Zambia very well, and attention to detail.
Which country has the worst intelligence?
Maybe Zambia today.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Zambia today.
Why would you say that though?
Because they pay attention.
Pay attention.
Which country has the worst intelligence?
Maybe Zambia today.
West country with the West intelligence.
Zambia today.
Why would you say that though?
Because I know.
I mean, after running for 10 years.
Zambia today.
Yeah, Zambia today.
Zambia.
Don't doubt tomorrow it will be a different institution.
But tomorrow it will be a different situation.
Zambia today, I think the institution has been allowed to sit back, and the parallel system has been running. So I don't think I would commend that the parallel system has performed well.
Right. So if you were called to come and consult today with the current government, would you?
I've already been consulting with the
Listen.
current government. I've been trying to help this and that,
Okay.
and I've done my part. I've done my part, and whatever's gone wrong is not my problem. We can understand it's the system of administration.
Anyway, you can take your time to listen to the podcast, because you see, some of us, we like to argue without getting information, and many times our country, this is how we are misled. We like to just speak from emotions. You find that even in my comments, people, you write an article, you explain an issue, and the people will be busy, making comments without reading. In this instance, I spoke about this during the day, and some people were busy reacting, and this is why I decided to go back and get these excerpts so that I can play them here, because I know some of you were reacting to this without even listening, critically listening to the podcast. This man, like you have heard, if you don't find anything wrong in how this man was discussing, then there is something wrong with you. You must be ignorant about state security. You must be ignorant about statecraft. You must be ignorant about diplomatic relations that we have. What this man said, trust me, I mean, he has put our country in jeopardy in a precarious situation with some of our diplomatic partners. This man, what this man said, he has put our country in a very difficult situation with some of our diplomatic relations. Because he's not just an ordinary man. He's not a Chilufye Tayali. Chilufye Tayali can be given some leeway because Chilufye Tayali has never been in the security. Chilufye Tayali has never been in government. Not when you are talking about the director of intelligence of your country. Somebody saying this man, he was just responding to questions according to his opinion. No, Bwana. No, Bwana. No. When you are in his position, some of these opinions, you keep them to yourself. You cannot be a former director of intelligence and you start saying which country has got the best intelligence. Which country has the worst intelligence? And you say Zambia is the worst intelligence. You are on a podcast. And you go to discuss these matters in public like that. It was very reckless. It was very careless. And surely this man, it would have been irresponsible, and it would be irresponsible for the government to let him loiter around and having this kind of interviews, because you don't know what next this man is going to say. I have not even watched the other interview that he had on TV. There's on one of the radio stations. I have not watched it because I was disappointed when I heard this one. I was disappointed, and I didn't want to be disappointed again by listening, to him devouring this kind of information carelessly. So I didn't listen to it. It was enough for me to listen to that podcast and judge this man, to say, hey, this man is a danger to himself and to the country. I'm opening phone lines. You can call in now and bring out your issues. Ati Gege Chimbi, you are very ignorant. You are very down. Stop being dramatic. You are a very down guy. If you don't see how careless this behavior of Achungu, you are very ignorant. You are very down. Very down. That man. I mean, you can't. You can't just be discussing things like that. It is one thing, like I'm insisting. It's one thing if you are discussing like somebody who has never been a civil servant, somebody who has never sworn an oath. You can have a certain, people can understand you a little bit. They can give you, they can tolerate you, Not a man like him. What he said about, about Congo. What he said about Malawi. I helped these countries. He was even discussing other countries' intelligence. No, the man was very careless. Hello?
Batari wachungu bari ngeri ukuzunga fya until August after August.
I don't think even after August. I think somehow that man need to be kept. I don't know, but government really need to look at this man on how to prevent him from, making such utterances. I don't know.
It's dangerous to the nation.
No, it's very dangerous, for real. Because some of the things that he said as a country now, we have to explain ourselves. We have to explain ourselves.
Bantu wako so bali ba kulandira bachilandira kuti kusiko vita kwava. Kwava.
Don't tell her. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello, good evening, Mr. Tayali.
Good evening.
Thank you. This is Chinyama.
Yes.
Yeah, what you are saying is true. Some people, you just say what is happening to their heads. Because it's like somebody who just goes and exposes his parents or his mother to say, my mother is the worstest mother in the world, or my father is the worstest father in the world. When you look at the man, you just said, does this man think to this one? Even if your father, even if your mother is the worstest person, you just try by all means to defend your mother or your father. So Mr. Chungu is 100%, not even 100%. Is more than 100%. You're very, very wrong. You can't say those things.
No, you can't.
As an intelligent person, you can't do that. You can't do that. You put your country in danger. And when I listened to it, I just said, does the government even sure? Because you went under a vow. You know, when you are under the vow, there are things which you can review and things which you can't review.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, my brother. Continue with the good work.
Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Good evening, President Ali.
Good evening.
Yes, you are very much right, President Ali. I want to also add my voice to what the big man has been saying. I think this man must be administratively detained. There's what we call preventive detention. Hello?
Yes, we are listening.
Yeah, so I'm saying there's what we call preventive detention to prevent him from causing more damage to the nation, because that man was serving as a very senior operative agent. So I think that's my contribution. I don't want to say much.
Thank you. Yakulisha position, yakulisha. Hello? 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 It's not that, you know, like others were saying, no. Hello? 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 We're not network. So it's not, you know, these others are busy. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I don't know what time it is there, Mr. Tayali.
We follow Zambian time.
Yeah. We follow Zambian time.
Yes.
Okay, good evening to you.
Good evening, sir.
We say people when they grow old, that comes with wisdom. But it's unfortunate that with Mr. Chungu, what he has just said on his in that podcast, it's really dangerous. I don't know, maybe we can borrow from your word when you say that no politics there, man. Politics. No,
You are right. You are very right.
Yes, maybe he was just overzealous. He thinks that is politics. You go on and start exposing classified information.
Yes.
You you go to the extent of talking to neighboring countries.
Yes.
Malawi, we are sharing the border with them.
Imagine. Eh?
The issue of that accident of Chilima happened, I think, some 3 years ago, if I'm not
Anyway,
mistaken.
it's-
Then today,
it's
somebody,
active,
as
that
senior
issue.
as he was,
Hey.
to start uttering such nonsense.
No.
And what is he trying to portray? If he comes out to say that no, to our country has the West intelligence.
What is he saying?
Who does that?
Hey, on a podcast, honestly.
Who does that?
On a podcast,
No,
how would
no,
you
no,
go?
no, no.
How would you go and say that on a podcast?
No, he must be kept inside. And I think time for him to pay back for his sins that he committed during 1991 to 201 has come. Remember, this man was a fugitive after the scandal of the Zamtrop account. He managed to flee the country. He was a fugitive. When a friendly government came in, that was of Michael Chilufye Tayali and Edgar Lungu, he came back to the country.
Yes.
But he is not being put on trial. So his mouth now
Is dragging him into trouble. Yeah. And look, even you know. Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Mr. Chung is a disappointment.
Big time.
Very big disappointment. When did he come back, this man? I thought he had run away a long time ago.
No, he came
When
back.
he messed up things.
He came back after 2011. After 2011, you remember
I'm
you.
disappointed.
Hello?
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 Mbuya, how are you?
You.
My fellow freedom fighter.
You. No, me, I'm not a fellow freedom. You are not a freedom fighter. We are not in the same class. JJ and I, and JJ, you and JJ and me, we are not in the same class. You are a liar, JJ. You are a liar. JJ, I don't like you. You can go to hell. Which diplomatic passport? Which diplomatic passport? You are in the bush, you. What are you talking about? Which diplomatic passport you have? Which diplomatic passport? You are lying. You at now, Simon Mowa is a girlfriend to somebody in State House. You are telling people that, honestly. There is no gayism in Zambia, but now Simon Mowa is sleeping with a guy in State House. JJ, I mean, how can you possibly be saying such kind of things? No, munaiwelamu. No, munaiwelamu. JJ, munaiwelamu no bufi. Munaiwelamu, you cannot be lying like this. Every day you are lying. Every day. No. No, I'm not in your class. I'm not with liars myself. You, JJ, you are a liar. You are a big liar. You are a big liar, JJ. Osativa Boza. Get out. You are a useless guy, you. Boza. You like lying. Kambani. Kambani.
Okay. Uli bwani Mbuya.
Tieni uko Kambani chabe. Ulifunza vivu. Chioko, waniwana nilipano nilibwino. Ala? Nilipano nilibwino.
Okay, mama diamo libwani.
Ndiye kupusa. Nzakujuba. Nzakujuba. Iwe chigiri. Nzakujuba. I'll catch you. Iwe, get out. My heart to come down. Stop.
They can come. Hello?
Yes.
Manje boy, mbele. Ine, nifuna kujoina boy. Manje nina condition ni mozi.
Yes.
Mbele. Na nifuna kujoina mbati nina condition ni mozi. Mkachitaka chamenecho. Nifuna wa HH basi ya visatanizimu. Then ine ni mjoina.
That is, you see, that nonsense. That nonsense. And you think, I mean, And this is what people are excited. No wonder President Hakainde Hichilema, this free education is very important. Because people...